Hello YouTube, this is Tucson back at you with another Echoes of Mana video, and I wanted to do something a little bit different than my previous videos, and I wanted to showcase a unit, and not one of the 4 stars. I wanted to showcase one of the 3-star units I've been looking at, which is Serafina here. She's a bow user, and she's got 2 skills. One actually reduces con on the unit, so it's kind of like a defense break, and the other is just a pure kind of damage skill. And I just wanted to kind of showcase you guys, because I know we had talked about, well, we got we got these 4-star units, but if we're not spending money to be able to get those, or we just don't have great luck, what about the other options that are in the game? So I actually have Serafina at Unleash 2 from the polls that I've had, and so I spent my energy the last couple days just working on getting her up. I finally completed her mana boards up till, a level 82. And then what I've done here for some of these videos, I was actually taking quite a bit of the gear that I kind of had extra or actually on my Reese, and just kind of shifted over to her just to kind of give her a better shake in her showcase here. And I think she's right around that 7,500 mark, and she's got a little over 400 luck. So we should get a pretty good showing for her today. And the video that I first had on here was actually my most successful video showcase I have for her, because I was playing her manually. We all know that AI in this game is pretty atrocious, and then if you play it by hand, you can normally actually beat stages. So that was actually one of the things I was really hoping for with bow users, was to be able to have a unit that just felt better on auto, as a little bit more of kind of set and forget, you're going to stay away from everything and just kind of fire. And I'm actually quite disappointed in our unit here, in our nice little bow Serafina here. Very she just likes to stay in place, which is okay. And I kind of just showcasing here, having Sumo out there, and he's supposed to be tanking, and of course he doesn't even heal himself and gets himself killed, and and then obviously that's problematic. But as you'll see a little bit later on here, as they take on one of the event bosses, she's just gonna stand in his attacks that whole time, when she could move around or pretty much do anything besides what she's doing to stay alive. So I don't want to be too negative about all bow users and just lump them all in together, but I will say that on the AI, it works better in stages where you're side scrolling, and that bow user really can't stay in the back. But I find it just terrible for boss fights. It definitely is probably one of those things where if you are using the bow user, then you'll be fine. Or if you're actually playing another unit that's taking aggro from the boss, and you can move the boss away from your bow user. I think both of those situations will work just fine to keep your bow user alive. But by no means do I think that this bow user is going to be allowing you to do any completely auto work. That makes a difference in that. So I could already auto these very hard stages just because of the bulkiness that my melee units had. The sad thing is I don't think Serafina has a good kit either for that. The best thing she has going for her is that defense break, that con break. It's not as good as Durin's, but if you don't have Durin, it's at least something that you could use. The only problem is just the frequency in which she uses it, so you have to actually put her into a balanced or support role. Another thing that I've realized is that her ST, her special technique ability, she has to walk pretty much in melee range to use that, which is just super odd for a bow user to have to walk up into melee range to use it. So you know what? I just ended up turning it off completely because I was like, well, I mean, I don't want to walk up in melee range when I'm on controlling her manually either. You know. And so it really is more of a case by case, like just use it when when it's convenient to use, sort of a thing. But I feel like you're gonna just let it go most of the time, especially if you're on auto. She's gonna walk up and get herself merged like that. So there's just some things, as you can tell, that are just kind of racking up against this unit. Doesn't have the smart AI like I'd like it to have. So you'd have to at least be playing on semi-auto and controlling a unit, if not her. Her special technique has to put her pretty much in melee range, and I just think that's ridiculous for a bow user, especially with how squishy her stats are. Like, it doesn't take any hits at all to knock her out. So the other piece about it is she's the bow users have the longest range of the game, but the other part is that they basically just shoot straight. You can see a couple times here, I try to see if it'll shoot at an angle, and I'm just purposely trying to figure out what the ability of the unit is, and it's just completely missing. Even if you use your ability, you can just flat miss units if you don't have them completely lined up on the screen, or if you're far enough away and she fires one of her skills off, and then your tank unit moves that enemy, or something like that, it'll just fly off into nothingness. So those are just some the things that just kind of frustrated me about this unit, and I was pretty excited because I love bow units in games, and I just feel like part of these issues may just be Serafina and her kit. The damage she does, just I understood that a 3-star unit's not going to do the same sort of damage as my 4-star units, but it just seems so inconsequential sort of damage, and the restrictions that I'm getting from the rest of it, I might as well just throw a tank unit out there and be up there in the front line or something like that. It just didn't seem to add anything to my team by investing in this unit, and I think that's kind of what feels a little bad about this. Is I was really hoping I would have a bow user, I'd get her out there, and I'd have just another tool that I could utilize in the circumstances that I felt like would favor them. But right now I'm having a really hard time finding a circumstance that is favored by this bow user. So I just wanted to get that out there. This is just my 2 cents. If you have a different opinion about specifically this unit, or maybe you've had better luck with some of the other bow units, please leave me a comment down below. Just explaining your thoughts, or the unit that you're using and how you're using them. And I would love to check it out, because I really do want to give the most favorable shake to each one of these units. And maybe at Unleashed 6, and with the extra stat pools and stuff like that, maybe she would be better. But just the skills that she kind of unlocks between then is like 3% more of her self-impaired buff for strength, which 3%, whatever. And then her ST, her special technique up, which we already talked that we're not using. And then she had the next one is like for her defense break. Those are the things that she's missing out of her kit, and those are all things that leveling them up isn't really going to change any of the problems she currently has. So let's give her her final rating here. So I think if you're going to play her on manual, I think she's just got some low damage to deal with, like, autoplay too, like her damage just isn't super high, but she does have that defense break, and so if you don't have Duran, she's got the supporting capability that can help unlock that if that's something you're looking for, and it might just be her really only niche of things. If you're looking for a unit that is going to be able to be more plug and play that you can use on auto, I still think you need to be looking elsewhere because I just don't think this unit has one, the damage capability, and two, the ability to not get hit, to stay out of that aggro range and the red circles on the ground during boss fights. And so overall, I'm going to not recommend leveling this unit, and that's my 2 cents.